Okay. Hello and welcome to the Make Money with Massage podcast. And today's guest is a remedial massage therapist and business owner who built a very, very successful multi-modality and multi-therapist clinic down in Victoria. And she has since moved on and become a business coach for massage therapists. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Elicia Crook to the show. Welcome, Elicia.
Thank you, Tim.
Elicia, before we move on, because this is like, I find in my sort of line of work that a lot of massage therapists don't sort of really see the need for help. They think that they know a lot about marketing. And I was actually talking to another marketing friend of mine the other night, and I said it's scary that marketing is just one of those things that everybody thinks they know something about, but in reality, very few people know anything about it. So before we go on, can you just tell us a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll go into maybe why a lot of massage therapists fail. Around about 95% of massage therapists fail, and the very, very simple steps that they can take to actually build a very successful business.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, Tim, I got into massage because I had scoliosis as a teenager. So I was diagnosed when I was 13 and had back surgery to correct it. So ribs and discs removed and fused with 10 vertebral levels. The journey that I had with massage helped the spasming in my back, both before the surgery, but then also helped me to heal afterwards. So that on that physical level, that was awesome. And then also on an emotional level, becoming really comfortable with who I was as a teenager that didn't look like my friends. So massage was a really massive part of my journey growing up. I decided that I wanted to become a massage therapist. A lot of my family was self-employed. And so I thought, you know what, I think I want to take this, this gift, and I want to go and run my own business. And I thought, oh, this will be amazing. And, 5 years in, I'm going, huh? Like, I just thought it would be built and it would happen. And I loved it, and I was getting great results, and it was amazing. And, I wanted to run my own business. So I worked at a chiropractic clinic. I worked up at Mount Hotham at the ski fields doing a season up there. And when we came back from there, I thought, I think it's really time to do this myself. And I went and rented a room. I called it the Ocean Grove Remedial Massage Centre, even though it was just me in one room, with the grand ideas of where I wanted to take it. So that's kind of, I guess, my story in a nutshell.
Awesome. And then obviously from there, you did come into putting contractors on and then changing your business model and then eventually building an asset that you sold and gone on to now help and work directly with other massage therapists to find success, which is amazing. It's also something that I'm very passionate about as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's start at the very beginning.
All right.
What's the biggest mistake most massage therapists make when they go out into business?
I think the biggest mistake that we make is that if we take it back even one step further, I think I teach part of the diploma. I'm a sessional teacher at the local TAFE. And I think one of the biggest mistakes we make when we teach it, we teach them how to treat really well. We teach all about, trigger points and stretching and myofascial release, which is amazing. Of course, you need that. And then we do this business unit, which is usually towards the end of the course. Nobody cares. Create some business plan that's going to sit on the shelf and never be used again, to cover up a whole framework. And that's really about it. And then it's like, okay, now go forth then, because, something like 90% of massage therapists are running their own business. So we basically don't equip them to actually go out into the world to be able to do what they need to do. So the biggest mistake is that, unfortunately, we're not actually educating them and equipping them with the skills and tools that they need to be able to do what most of them are going to actually go into the workforce doing.
I agree. And I think, being an educator myself, moving on, but I know that when I was doing my certificate 4, I think we were the education system itself didn't sort of help us. They actually gave us a false impression, because when we had to do our business model and go up and do our business plan and our marketing plan, none of us were marketers and none of us had ever worked in massage before. So how are we going to develop a marketing plan based on something we had never ever worked in? It was so that was doomed to failure in the first place. And so what we did is we just went around, like we had to work in groups of 3 or 4. So we just walked up the street, walked in every massage clinic, took flyers, took business cards, everything else. And then just came back to it all in the middle of the table and just borrowed very heavily on it and just repeated what was what we saw being used out there, and then we were marked. Mark competent. Yep, no, you passed, and so then we went out and we based all our marketing on that. And I think this is a big problem, is that just because another massage therapist is using that approach, that technique, doesn't necessarily mean it's working.
That's right. I think flyers, I'm yet to speak to anyone who said, I did a bunch of flyers and my business went through the roof. In fact, it's usually the opposite. Most people who are, doing flyers are going, I did all these flyers. I did like 200 flyers and I spent all this time creating them and I delivered them and I'm now waiting for the phone to ring. I'm literally dusting my phone and it's not working. And I think, you asked me before, one of the biggest mistakes is, I think there's a few, but if we're talking about marketing, it's understanding that people need lots of different touch points. And that, yes, you can do one thing, which is if you want to do flyers, rock on, all power to you, go and do it. It's a great way to waste time. But you've also got to be then doing a whole heap of other stuff as well and look at the strategy that you've got, because you need multiple vehicles to be able to get where you want to go.
Absolutely. I talk about flyers and business cards exactly the same way. That it's throwing a lot of mud against the wall and seeing what sticks. And like my business cards are basically used because on the back it says your next appointment.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's basically the only time somebody gets one of my business cards is when they're going to see me again. Yeah. So that side of it, and the other point is that what we do as massage therapists is we solve problems. So when we're talking to somebody on the street, and hopefully, when somebody says, "What do you do?" Hopefully they don't say, "Well, I'm a massage therapist." Hopefully they say, "I help people with X problem, do this," and then they go, "Oh, really?" Now, at that point, if that person doesn't have that problem, they're not really a prospect for you. So then if you give them a business card or a flyer, they go, "Oh yeah, that's nice. I'll go put it with the other 50 on the bench." And then when they actually do have that problem or know somebody who has that problem, there might be a 5% chance that your card might be at the top of that pile, or they might just go to the top one. So it's basically, your marketing, as you're saying, has to have various touch points, but also, it's got to be valid to the person. And So what's one of your favorite marketing methods?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm a big fan of social media. I have basically my coaching business, that's all I use. And in my massage business, one of the really amazing blessings I would say in my life is that my husband's a digital marketing expert. So after 5 years or so, when I was in my massage business, he'd been off and studied and was starting to get into the graphic design. He was starting to understand branding and marketing and really utilizing the web, probably much earlier than most people would have, because it was like, well, I should see if this could work. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll build Elicia website. We'll get some branding happening. So we had consistency through what we were doing. So although it was just the first 5 years took a long time, within about 12 months, I had 5 therapists all working out of that one room because of the marketing we were doing. Now in Ocean Grove, where I'm from, there are 13,000 people. There are 35 other massage therapists within a 10K radius from my clinic. And that number rises. We were seeing over 100 clients a week and the most expensive clinic on the peninsula because we had our marketing right. And we are still one of maybe 3 with a website. Like there's just so many people out there that don't have a website, don't have a web presence. And, when I first started, 19 years ago, if you went in the yellow pages, it wasn't worth even opening a business. Nowadays, if you're not online, it's like nobody knows about you because we'll always have word of mouth and referrals. But when Mavis says to her cousins, sisters, aunties twice removed, you've got to go see this person, they're amazing, the first thing people do is then go search you out online because they want to build trust. So I'm a massive fan of online, particularly social media, because it's very cheap, it's very easy to use, and there are more people on social media than any one country in the world now. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Sometimes I'll speak to people who are like, "Oh, I hate social media. Facebook just annoys me." And it's like, well, are you busy and do you want to be? Because unless you're seeing 90-year-olds most people are on Facebook, and it's about understanding how to speak their language. So exactly what you said before with the business card analogy, that what you want to be able to do in your marketing is actually create an emotional response in people. So that if you say, you know, like for example, I inspire exceptional health through remedial massage and Bowen therapies because I love treating complicated cases. Now, if that message doesn't resonate with you because you don't have a complicated case, awesome. What it should do is invoke an emotional response in you so that you're like, oh, but my mum really needs to come and see you, or my auntie needs to come and see you, or my husband needs to come and see you. Because you want them to be in that space where they're going, oh, cool, like that's an amazing message. I get what you do. Yes, you do massage and Bowen, but you help complicated cases. Oh, cool. Well, you know, if you've got depression and disc problems and whatever, like, I love to see those people. Like, oh, bring it on, and mess with their head a bit because it's kind of fun, as well as doing some treatment. So it's, you know, people can really, if you can get across what you do in the treatment room and why you do it, you need to be able to language that. So put that in, get some words around it, and then be able to language that in your marketing. And it doesn't actually matter where you put that, but if people can get what you do before they even come in, then you won't be a therapist at home who wants to treat, you know, beautiful mums that are having babies and getting these meathead, musclehead gym junkies calling you because your message isn't right, and vice versa. Because if you love treating the muscleheads, awesome. You're not going to be talking about the 3 things you could do for self-care between nappy changes, because that message is not going to resonate with them.
For some.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, that's very true, and it comes down to identifying your ideal client. And I'd like to welcome Barb along. Barb's been a big support for me on Blab and in my other business ventures. So thanks, Barb, for coming along for a listen. The identifying, and a lot of people just think, build it and they will come. And when we say who's your client, say everybody can benefit from massage, and that's true, everybody can, but we've all got things that we're good at. Like I absolutely suck at relaxation massage. Yeah. I've been bashing elite athletes. So when people when I talk to people, you've got to become a specialist. You've got to hone, and you've got to identify your ideal client. They go, well, I don't know where to start. Well, I say the first place to start is, who don't you want to treat? Yeah. Take those people out of the equation. Like my receptionist, she has a list. Like I don't work with pregnant women. Yeah. Right. It just doesn't. It doesn't
resonate with them. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I don't do reflexology. I don't do it, and even though I have got qualifications and skills in that area, those are things I don't like doing. Yeah. Right. So and the point is that we are judged on our performance. And if somebody's idea of massage is Sven in the steam room, doing kapotment and carrying on, and they come to me for a massage and they have that expectation, they're going to walk out very, very disappointed. Yeah, exactly. Right. And they're not going to talk very highly of me. It's going to damage my business. Yeah. So you've got to do something different. And the point is, as you said, you had 35 other massage therapists in a 10K radius. I don't know how many massage therapists are in a radius from me. I walk past about 4 A boards, from where I park my car to my clinic. Yeah. Right. So it's like Burley Heads. It's a very touristy area, and there's lots and lots of therapists there, as well as Rabina, and so it's a very, very busy area, and it's a holiday area as well. And I'm like you, like I charge between $15 and $20 above the standard price for the area, and I get it. Yeah. And the reason why I get it is because I believe I'm worth it. That's right. And my clients believe I'm worth it. And that's do you want to talk about pricing, because this is another area where people.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm glad you brought it up, because one of the things that I find so many therapists say is that I charge $60 an hour because of the low socioeconomic area that I'm in. Which cracks me up, because like I would have had this conversation with people all over Australia. Now, Australia is in the 2% of the population of the most wealthiest people on earth. So this is an awesome topic of conversation, because what I say is that most people who are accessing massage, when you value when you value yourself, people will value you. because whatever you object to, your market will object to as well. So if you object on price, so will they. If you object to working from home, so will they. If you object to the room that you're in, so will they. Whatever you object to, you'll see that in your market. When you learn to value yourself and what you do, people will pay it, no worries at all. And I've tested this time and time and time and time again. And I've never had a therapist say to me, I charge $90 an hour and I've got no one. But I have many people say to me, I charge $60 an hour and I've got no one. And, you know, the thing with massage is that we know how valuable it is. Now, regardless of who you treat, we usually have a really cool story as to why we got into the industry. But having said that, people don't access massage if they can't put food on the table. They just don't. It's not the first thing that comes to mind if you're in survival mode. But having said that, what we often do is judge our entire database on one or two people who are really struggling. Now, it could be because we've been a student for a couple of years and maybe we're reflecting that. Maybe we're at that survival mode right now. But are we our target markets? Because often we're not our own target market. And so we need to be valuing what we do, charging accordingly, and becoming really congruent with that. Because I've never had the lady, I mean, I've got two kids, right? An 8-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. My 8-year-old eats me out of house and home. Heaven forbid when he becomes a teenager. And I've never had the lady at Aldi's become really uncomfortable when I'm checking out my peas or, you know, whatever I'm buying for him to just consume. Get really upset and really awkward over, oh, I'm so sorry that this costs more this week than it did last week. No, it's my choice whether I come and I buy $200 worth of groceries or I buy $30 worth of groceries. Like, as a consumer, that's absolutely my choice. And whether I shop at Coles or Safeway or Aldi or whatever is my choice. And so I think that our clients have the same opportunity. They can choose to come and see us because we've got a message or because we value our time and because they love what I do and they connect with it. Or they can go down the road and get a $50, you know, cheapy massage if that's what they want to do. But I know that people will pay what they think they're worth as well. And so if you're trying to attract people who are looking for that cheap treatment and you're advertising on Scoopon and stuff like that, then are you going to be attracting the right people? Or are you attracting people who are actually going to take food off your table so that you can do what you're passionate about? And that's one of the biggest conversations that it's one of the first things I have with therapists is, cool, what are you charging? And most people are charging less than $70. And so it's about overcoming that objection because it's not the low socioeconomic area. It's a whole heap of stuff that's going on internally. And I think that's, you know, we can talk strategy until the cows come home. I can teach people how to do a Facebook ad. I can teach them how to do whatever. But at the end of the day, if you don't value what you do, and the mindset's not right, it actually doesn't matter what strategy you teach. People aren't going to come on board with it because if they don't value what they do or they're afraid of success, which a lot of people think they're afraid of failure, but I would say that there's actually a massive fear of success because honestly, most people are doing really well at failing and that doesn't scare them. Yeah, it's absolutely. What if it was successful? What if I was charging $90 an hour? What if I was seeing 25 clients a week? What if I had a marketing plan? What if it was working? And the thought of that actually scares people more than seeing less than 5 clients a week and charging $60 an hour.
I agree wholeheartedly. Like the sabotage and the relationship with money, or the fear of the fear of success. Yeah, is it's a big one. And as we're saying, like, everything starts with mindset. I know that your program starts with mindset. My teaching always starts with mindset because as coaches, sometimes we've got to speak the truth, and sometimes the truth isn't nice to hear. And you could turn around and say, it's your fault, you're broke. Now what are you going to do about it? Yeah. You've got to start changing things within your belief system, and it's not your business. And it's not where you are, it's not your location, it's not the discount place up the road, it's not the economic, it's you. Change you, change the way you look at yourself, believe that what you're doing is valuable. I think the other side of it too is that sometimes people are naturally gifted, and so what they do comes very, very easily for them, and they can't actually see, okay, what's the big deal? I can actually see, this isn't hard for me, so therefore I shouldn't be charging. And I think that's I think the other side of it too is that people think, because once again they think they want to serve everybody, but you don't need to have a huge list to be successful. We're saying at the moment, because of my retention rate and my return rate, which is another big thing that we'll talk about, is I haven't counted up my client list because I've sort of just moved from one clinic to another. I would guess that my client list is still under, say, 300, right? But those are very nice 300. They pay me $95 an hour, and I see on average 25 a week. And that's all I want. I don't want any more, right? Because I'm doing other things. I'm doing this. I've got other projects. So I'm actually working on my exit strategy now. Right? Which will, somewhere along the way, you can't tie yourself to your business and become a slave.
And I think, look, on that, with that magic number of 25 clients a week, that's what I used to treat, and that's what I feel really comfortable treating. But everyone has their own magic number, and not everybody, like you say, not everybody wants to be running a multidisciplinary clinic with staff, etc. Some people, some people are like, I want to see 15 clients a week. I've got kids, I've got this, I've got that. Awesome. There's no right or wrong magic number. Valuing your time and knowing what you want to see, and then reverse engineering it and going, cool, well, if I want to see 15 clients a week and I'm currently seeing 5, what do I have to do? And once you value your time, you understand your niche market, the next thing, exactly like what you said, is about rebooking and getting retention. So we had a staff of 9 at the peak of the clinic that I was running, and we had an 85% rebooking rate across the team. I sat at 95%, and most of my staff who'd worked with me for a long time also sat around the 90% mark. As a team, we were sitting at 85% because we can never fix people in just one session. It's just not possible. And although we had a large database because we had a large team, it was about developing, we really were there with them through their entire healthcare journey, which didn't necessarily mean that they came to see us all the time. But if they were seeing a chiropractor or an osteopath or a physio as part of their journey, then we would do mentoring and training on how can we care for this person and look after them the whole way through. So just give them a call. Hey, I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. How are you going at the physio? Because 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going. And so it was like just checking in. It's like, you know what? Can I actually see you next week? And then between that time, I'm going to ring the physio and actually book in. Of course, let's do that. And people didn't feel like you were ringing them to be like, hey, you need an appointment, which is really kind of what the chiropractic clinic I'd been at was very much like that. And they're still around in the area for the reception lady. My goodness, she's good, but she's really pushy. And I never wanted that. But at the same time, often, and this comes back to a concept that I think you would understand as a coach, both in the sports world and in the massage world, that it's about love and leadership. Because you've got to have love. And so many therapists have, in the treatment room, there's compassion, kindness, care, love, nurture. That's even if you're smashing out, elite athletes, there's still that I want to help you be able to succeed. But what happens is we take that hat into the business and it's like, I just want to help people. I don't want to have to make decisions about this stuff. And I don't want to follow them up, because if I follow them up, I'd be pushing them. And I'm just not that sort of person. And it's like we've got to actually build the muscle of leadership to be able to go, I'm calling them. Will they come in for another treatment? Yeah, maybe. But the purpose of it is to actually help them on their journey, because I'm going to be the most resourceful person in their lives, so that if they ever need me, I'm going to be at the forefront of their mind. And having that leadership to be able to rebook them, and really have your outcome in mind. I want to see 25 clients a week, and right now I'm seeing this many. Right, well, what do I have to do to get there? It's about making those decisions to go, cool, well, I have to become more comfortable in rebooking them, because then I'm going to take better care of my clients.
That's it. And I think there's so many things in that. My head's just spinning.
I'm talking a bit quick. Sorry.
The point. How many times, and I'm talking to the audience now, you haven't seen, like, somebody comes and sees you on a regular basis or semi-regular basis, and then they stop, and then you don't see them for a month, you don't see them for 2 months, and then you go, oh, why isn't Joe coming? Did I do something wrong? Oh, he mustn't like what I do. He must have found somebody better. Oh dear. why don't you get on the phone and say, hey, Joe, it's Tim. I'm just following up. Haven't seen you for a while. I know life gets busy. Just want to see how you're traveling. How's that sore back of yours? Now, Joe may say, oh yeah, look, Tim, I found somebody closer, or I've actually moved. My life situation has changed. I've actually moved to America or something like that. But more often they'll go, oh, geez, thanks for the call. I've just been so busy. And this is what happens. Like, people fall out of routine. And sometimes, like, I see it if somebody's booked in and then they get sick. And so they've got to cancel their appointment. Well, they've got to cancel their appointment for some particular reason, and they were in a routine with those appointments because they rebook after every appointment. Yeah. So when they cancel that one appointment for whatever reason, that chain is now broken. Yeah. And then life gets busy. Life gets busy with me too. There's lots of things that I don't do. So that's number one. Coming back to getting on that phone is to, follow up and like. I do it all the time, and a 2-minute phone call ends up being worth thousands of dollars because they get back into that routine. Yeah. And the other thing too is about when we're talking about rebooking is that one thing I had very early on, sort of coming out, because I said I work mainly full time in elite sports, so I didn't have a lot of clinic experience where I was sort of involved in charge of my own marketing, and so. One of the biggest problems I had was when a client came in and you'd be sort of talking to them and they go, oh, yeah, and Fred up the road, he had me coming in twice a week or once a week, and he had me in there for 6 or 7 weeks, did absolutely nothing. It's useless, everything else. And I'm going, oh, God, how am I going to tell him I'm going to need to see this guy again? And so I basically didn't. And then, but that's not doing me any good, and it's not doing Fred any good or the client any good, because we know we can't fix anybody in one treatment unless we've got the magic wand, and I haven't been able to find mine for the last few years. So it comes back to your price. So virtually you need somebody who can afford you, not once. You need somebody who can afford you until you're and you're open. I think when you're talking about, when you're educating them right from the outset, and what I say to my people is that, say, normally what I find with people who have similar issues with you, they normally need X amount of see me weekly for so long, and then we can take it out to fortnightly, and then our main goal is to get you out to see you once a month or once every 5 weeks. But we'll reassess every treatment. But at least they know a couple of things, that in the early stages they're going to be seeing me regularly. But my goal is to push them out. So my goal isn't to see them every week for the rest of their lives. Okay, so, and that's a big thing in rebooking. But the other big thing in rebooking is that they can afford you.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Is there another aspect that you like to talk about, as far as simple tweaks that
for rebookings?
But anything, for anything that's going to, like, something that a massage therapist could go out and do in the next 5 minutes or the next 10 minutes or the next day or whatever, but just a tweak to their approach, a tweak to their business setup, a tweak to their client communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking about an example that I use is Coca-Cola. Now, clearly we're health professionals. I get none of us drink Coke, okay, because we're really healthy. We drink lots of water. Now, Coke is that's right, with a bit of coffee in it. Now, Coca-Cola is one of the biggest brands on the planet. Okay, there are sometimes access to Coca-Cola before you can get access to clean drinking water. Like, it's ridiculous. Yet they still market, they still advertise. And whenever you see an ad for Coke, it's never, hey, here's a bottle, you should drink it. It's always, it's bubbly, it's bright, it's all happening. Look how amazing life is when you drink Coke, even though we know it's horrifically bad for us. And so with your marketing, if we can take the principles behind what they're doing and market something far better than Coca-Cola with massage. The principle behind what they're doing is that they're talking about the benefits, you're seeing the lifestyle, the story, and it's always happening. Rather than, hi, I've got like a Facebook post, and I see this all the time, $30 of massages, $30 massage available all week, or $50 appointments, or I've got this appointment, that appointment, and it's like nobody's ever going to buy into that. But changing it to, there's a great, you know, there's lots of images that you can purchase. And one of my favorite one is the shocked kind of, you know, and it's like she's whispering to someone like, oh, you're joking. You've got appointments available. Really? It's like, look, we've just had one appointment open up tomorrow. Give me a call or book online. So there's a call to action, and it sounds like it's all happening rather than you've got all this availability. Now, honestly, the job boy down the road who's going to book, they don't know that you've probably got 10 appointments available. It's about perception. And so if you add value, talk about stretching, talk about, you know, think about the 3 to 5 things you do in the treatment room. What are you banging on about? I was always banging on about, you know, magnesium and water, hydrate your muscles, hydrates everything, blah, 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 right? Water. I was a water Nazi. Seriously, people would call their water fountains Elicia and ask their staff if they had had enough of me today. Like, I was really renowned for this. So one of our pillars that we talk about on social media all the time was how much water have you had to drink today? You know, and I remember thinking, oh, we're posting about this water stuff. Is it actually working? And having one of our regular clients who come in once a month for a checkup, she goes, hey, I've been drinking more water since you've been posting that stuff on Facebook, and I think it's helping. I've noticed that my headaches, I know they were heaps better since you've been working on it, but they've actually gone now. My shoulders feel more relaxed. I'm sleeping better. I think it's really working. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, I think the marketing's really working too, because we're adding value. And yeah, we will put out occasional, oh, we've got a spot available kind of posts, but just really thinking about adding value in your marketing when you're, particularly on social media when you're posting. And if you are going to post a come and buy my stuff post, which is what I've got appointments available is, have a strong call to action, but make it sound like it's all happening. And that's something you can literally try today. Just have a crack. Find a really cool picture that, you know, it might be at a shock value. It might be at a bit of, you know, that Facebook meme that's like the people say the benefits of massage don't last, or neither do the effects of showering. This is why you should do it regularly. You know, there's a Facebook meme. Grab that and, you know, just try it. Hey, guys, you know, appointment has just come up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Give me a call, save time, book online if you've got it, so you've got that call to action, and just have a crack. I mean, we've got a great example is a guy from Jason, we just did a case study with. He's from Wangaratta, so country Victoria. He was seeing about 15 clients a week, and he had to go away. I think he was helping fight fires down in Tassie for about 5 weeks over summer. And he came back to Wangaratta, and basically there were 5 Chinese massage places that had opened up in his clinic, like literally within 5 kilometers of his clinic. And he's like, Leisha, I've got no one. Like, I've got no one at all. And I'm like, wow, this is, you know, he's like, I really want to work with you, but I've literally got no cash flow. So we worked with him on a couple of Facebook ads. We spent $10 on one ad that I'm talking about. He got 5 bookings in 48 hours. He signed up to the program. He's smashed. He's also got a multi-level marketing business. He's grown both of them by what we teach, by understanding who his niche is, how to market properly, how to speak their language. And he has this minimal amount of spend, and he just totally smashes it all the time because he understands how his market works. So there you go.
That's perfect. Just trying to think. I don't know if I've got a. I want to talk about marketing jargon.
Sure.
You want to come to me and have some myofascial release followed by some dry needling followed by some blah 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 blah.
No, not interested. Don't care.
Because that's all they hear is blah 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 blah. Because they don't understand. Like the number of times I've had people bring these brochures and flyers and go, "What's myofascial release?"
Talk something in the blah.
Benefits. Are you marketing to your client or you're marketing to other therapists? Because when you're using that terminology, even when you know, if you just say remedial massage therapist, they go, and what do you do? Because that's just a word. Massage is just a word. So in your marketing, either visually by the picture that you're presenting or your wording, talk about the outcome. Saying, as Elicia says, concentrate on what they're walking out the door with, not what they're walking in the door with, right? Because, you know, I see it, and that's what I'm saying. I can pull up any website, and it just doesn't happen for me. It doesn't tell me what they do. I mean, it tells me what they do, but I understand what they do because I'm a therapist, so I understand that jargon. Yeah. but Joe Blow off the street. So just imagine when you are wording your ad, imagine you are talking to somebody who has never had a massage before, has no idea of what massage is and what massage does. Don't assume because you know what you do, and don't assume that you know your results that everybody else does.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a huge thing that we talk about when we're helping therapists build websites, because the content that you put on your site is gold, and people need to be able to, the way I explain it is, you need, your website's like your mothership, and if the language on there is what, so I do this, I do that, it's all talking about you, I do this and I do that, and this is what we do, and the blah and the blah. And, you know, some therapists say to me, oh, I've just got this, I mean, I'm one of 40 therapists in Australia and no one gets what I do. Well, the thing is, if I'm going to be really honest, nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do, what you've spent on your education, and if you've got 50 things that you can offer. All they care is what's in it for them. So when we're putting that on, you know, our website, it's like we need to be able to drive traffic to the site. But here's the thing: if all we're talking about is blah blah blah, and the same with flyers, etc. If you've got a website that truckloads of people come to and no one's actually calling you or booking online, it's like having flyers, printing them, and then sticking them in your garage for the mice to eat. Like, there's absolutely no point. If what you're saying, it's great to have a site, but I mean, I've spoken to people who've got 20,000 hits on their site a month, and one person calls. So what it's telling me is that the message that they're putting out there is not resonating. That obviously people are clicking through from Facebook, so you often will use social media to drive traffic to a site. That's cool, but then it has to have a call to action that actually resonates with that, but resonates with the person that you're sending there. And talking about the benefits, you know, we inspire exceptional health by remedial massage and Bowen therapies to help complicated cases. That kind of language, again, if that's not you, you're not going to hear anything and it won't resonate. Cool, but it will invoke a response to go, that's not me, but man, I know someone who will. And it's the same if you treat elite athletes, you want to be talking about, you know, results and action and getting back to it and whatever. They don't care how you do it. Literally, if you had a pair of fish, and you know, and that worked, they actually don't care how you do it.
That's it. So I'm just trying to bring up my website. Not that I don't really concentrate on my website too much, to be honest with you, because I get my traffic through, well, my clients through referral.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that's a really good point. And this is something that we speak to a lot of therapists about, because some people, I mean, like yourself, you're at 25 clients a week, you're charging what you're worth, you're happy, right? Like you said, for you, it's an exit strategy. Awesome. For lots of people, it's like they can do that, but the problem is if they're having a quiet week, they don't know what to do. So that's where marketing comes in. Or if they move, or if they have babies. That's a big thing that I say. People stop treating for whatever reason. Often it's to have kids or travel, and they come back and it's like, crap, what's this social media thing? I don't have a website. Everything's changed because everyone just used to know who I was. Now they've found someone new. Now what do I do? So when it comes to marketing, word of mouth and referrals are always going to be there. There's always going to be people going, oh, you've got to go see this person because they're amazing. And there's things that you can do to actually organically raise that. That's cool. But if you're having a quiet week, there's nothing much you can do to go, right, can you just tell all your friends about how awesome I am and tell that doctor and that specialist that I need to see more people, because it doesn't kind of work. But I think if you're in the sports industry, I think referrals make a lot more sense. Whereas if you're in the pregnancy normal, I call them the normal people, just treating the plumbers and the tradies and the whatevers and the mums and dads and the workers, it's actually harder to get those referrals because you are targeting your market, but there's not a lot of people referring to you because it's simply, I hurt my back on the weekend, can you help? Kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just pulled up my very small website. It's huge. I said the headline is, "We're in the business of managing pain and injury naturally." Right. So it says,
nice. Yeah.
I haven't even said anything about massage.
Yeah.
And then the next one is, want to get back to the things that you love, that you love. Right? I'm not talking about me.
Yeah, that's right.
Now here I talk about me. I say, I have personally experienced the frustration of dealing with debilitating pain. That's me, right? Now, we are here to listen work with you and help get your pain under control so you can get back to doing the things that bring a smile to your face. It's you. We talk about what's in it for you. That's all that's on that front page.
Absolutely.
The only thing about that message, anything about massage on that is my name, Tim Cooper Massage.
Yep.
The rest of it is all about them and what we can do for them.
Absolutely.
So there's nothing there about myofascial release, no remedial massage, whatever.
And look, you've got to have that on your site. Absolutely. Put what we do. Go nuts in the detail. I can myofascially release the blah, blah, blah. Rock on, but not on your homepage. And have for the people who just, can you fix it? Good. Who are you? That's all they want to know. Have that amount of detail. And then you can go into the massive, I've done this technique and I've done that and blah. Awesome. Because if a therapist is looking for someone, then great. They do want to know that stuff. And some people, I mean, you would have to have clicked through to about 3 pages on our website to know about my story of scoliosis. It's not the front page news. But sometimes people would come in, and I only will mention if I think it's going to be valuable. Like if you've got an 89-year-old who's had a disc, like you said, a spinal fusion, and is really nervous to have treatment. I had 5 when I was 15. Oh, holy crap, love. Like if I think it's going to be valuable to this person to know what I've gone through, then I'll share it. And I have no emotional reason to tell them. I'm totally cool with all that part of that side of my past. And sometimes people say, yeah, I read that on your site. It's like, holy crap. What that tells me is that you've probably spent 10 to 15 minutes on my site before you called. Building trust, building trust, building trust, building trust. And an ad or a flyer is never going to do that.
I agree. Perfect. Okay, I think we're running out of time, unfortunately, because we had those little blab issues.
My apologies.
Before. No, that's not your fault. We'll blame blab for that.
Totally.
Anyway, but before we let you go, you do have a program called Building.
So fully booked without burnout.
That's it.
It's
fully booked without burnout.
Yeah. So it's a 6-week online program where we teach mindset, marketing. We help you build a website. We help therapists literally become fully booked, but without getting burnt out, and utilizing some of the strategies that we've talked about today. And I mean, my passion is to really help therapists be able to get this stuff. And that's why I think it's awesome that there's, more of us out there, because, my background is how I've built it, having staff, having a team, running, renting a commercial space. Clearly there is more than one way to skin a cat, which is awesome. So if this has resonated with you, then awesome. Give us a call, have a chat. We can talk about the program. I love being able to help people, because when I was, 15 years ago, there was no one doing this, and there was no kind of blueprint or map to be able to have a go and go, okay, well, if I took that step and that step and that step, I could have circumvented my growth to probably a 6-month. I could have done everything I wanted to do in 6 months as opposed to 10 years. So that's basically what I put into the program, is how to create that blueprint.
I'm saying, I'm saying when you can hack the system, because when I moved clinics from one place to another, and there's about 30K in between the 2 clinics, I went full time. Well, I'm there 5 days a week at the moment. I'm going to be cutting that back, but I started full time only back in March, beginning of March, right? And I'm fully booked, and I'm not burnt out.
Yeah.
By using these similar things that not identical, but you said there are obviously there are things that are the same, and there's other areas that you can sort of go off in, but you can do it, and you can do it very, very quickly and easily, just with some very, very simple tweaks. Okay, so do you want to just quickly tell us where people can find you?
Yeah, cool. So you can check out eliciacrook.com.au, so ELICIACROOK, or check me out on Facebook. We've got a closed group that we run called Massage Business Support Network, which is literally just, supporting you through the business side of things. So you're welcome to come and request to join that. We can pop you in there. But yeah, Facebook is the best place to find me. It's where I hang out a lot of my time.
Awesome, fantastic. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that those links are in the show notes for this episode on the Make Money with Massage podcast. Elicia, thank you very much for your time. This is great. I said, this is like I was on that. We have spoken.
Yes.
We have touched base before now, and I did listen to your webinar a little while back, and that was really good too. So
Thank you.
I wish you every success. And for those people who are looking to be serious and start building, you can make money with massage, right? Don't be a massage martyr. And this is all part of the mindset. People have this disconnect between helping people and making money, and they see money as evil. And this is probably coming back to why they're afraid to succeed, is they see money as this evil and helping people as this good, and there's this disconnect, and they can't bring the two together. Now, if you're going to help people, the best way that you can make an impact in the world is to actually be able to make some money, and then you can really spread the love. So you can make money. Don't devalue what you do. You bring a lot of value to a lot of people. You deserve to be rewarded for that. And the more you're rewarded, the more people you can help.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thanks, Barb, and everybody for your support yet again. And once again, check out Elicia's site, and we'll see you in the next episode.